Hey everybody, it's your girl Angela Kotz. I'm here with Ghost Hunting Beauties, and today we have an amazing special guest. We have Issa here with us, who is brand new to the cast, so I hope you're ready to watch. Hey everybody, welcome back. We are here with our newest cast member, Issa, and she's going to tell us a little bit about herself. She's been in the world of the paranormal and spooky things for quite a while. So welcome to the podcast and welcome to Ghost Hunting Beauties.
Hi, I'm so glad to be here. I am so happy to be a part of Ghost Hunting Beauties. It's something that I've always looked at, actually being able to be part of a group, much less a part of a group that has such amazing women as yourself.
Thank you.
I really love that. And I've been in the paranormal for as long as I can remember. I mean, I think I was 5 years old looking at horror movies, which of course at that age, yes,
oh my gosh.
at that age you're not really supposed to be looking at. But
right?
I don't think we had a filter as far as like scary movies.
Really?
We didn't. And
so like Poltergeist, everything.
You know, you literally just said the first movie that I ever watched.
No,
I'm not kidding. Poltergeist, because I'm 5, so I'm like, oh my God, is this real? Is it not? But I'm scared out of my mind. But it didn't matter how scared I was. I kept it on repeat.
The curiosity.
I kept watching it because I'm like, in my mind, I'm like, is this real? Does this really happen?
Mm-hmm.
These are ghosts. I didn't know what ghosts were, and that's when I found out what ghosts were. And at that point, I was like, I want to really know what else there is or more about it. So I just kept watching more movies. And I remember we would like walk to the rent VHS place.
Oh, man. Back in the day. Oh, no. Giving it away.
I'm giving away my age.
She meant DVD. No.
I meant we walked to Blockbuster.
That gives it away too.
Darn it. Okay. So we did. We walked to the video rental place, and I would always ask for the same movies: Poltergeist,
really,
Ghostbusters, like you name it. If it
the
had
classics,
the classics. I never really cared for like, let me see something funny. I don't even remember really watching anything funny.
Wow.
It was just that.
Was it you by yourself, or do you have brothers?
No,
and sisters?
I had an older brother, and he loved it too.
Wow,
he loved it as much as I did, and my mom. She liked it too. She was just like, okay.
So it's a family affair, a family of horror fans.
Yes, there definitely was. And since that moment, we just were more open to talk about things like that. And so much curiosity between me and my brother about it, to the point where he, at some point, started making we had one of those video recording cameras with hold on your shoulder. And he was like, I want to be a film director, but for horror movies.
Whoa.
So he's like, let's start making some movies.
So he was inspired.
And I was like, yes, let's do it. I would just, we would be throwing ideas out there. We watched Chucky, of course.
Oh man.
We're like,
that one scared me.
I was scared, but I was like, also like, oh, this is so great. And we came up with this idea, like, this is before there was Bride of Chucky. Mm-hmm. We're like, let's make one that it's Chucky's sister. And he's like, you can play Chucky's sister. And I was like, okay.
They could have been stealing your ideas.
You know what? We came up with that first.
Right?
So I played Chucky's sister. There's a video on YouTube for, I'm not going to.
Wait, how far did you go? Did you have the red hair? Did you do
No.
No,
we were literally like with whatever we had, because we were, it's like, let's just make it. And it's just like, I was just Chucky's sister. And I think we just copied the whole movie, actually.
Oh, wow.
But it was so much fun to make. And after that little short film we did, I don't even know how he did it, but we were coming up with more just scary films. Scary films, and they all had to be scary. And then I had a younger brother, but he was little at the time. Maybe he was like 2.
So he was the prop?
No, we didn't use him for anything because we're like, you're not going to be able to.
He's the prop.
Actually,
isn't that what little siblings are for? I was the younger sibling, so I'm pretty sure I would have been the prop.
I think he was like 2 years old at the time. I used one of my dolls for like Chucky.
Oh, there you go.
And then when he got older, of course, he was around us and seeing all that. Then he started making his own movies.
No way.
Now he's actually a short film movie director.
So he was inspired too.
We're a whole family of horror. I'm telling you.
That is neat.
But the real interest for me was the paranormal aspects of all these movies.
Right.
Because of course, Poltergeist, like, it was basically all about the paranormal.
Oh yeah.
And so I kind of geared more towards that than the gory type of horror.
I never liked the gore.
Me either. So I would just focus on that. And as I grew up, I think around 12, I started trying to learn more about the ghosts and paranormal and all that. But because there was no internet. Okay, here we go again, saying my age.
Right.
Folks,
there was life before the internet, where we had to go to libraries and look up books, and we had to hope that they had everything accurate.
I would go to the library and just look up to see what I could find. And I didn't even know about ghost hunting tools back then. And I don't even know if there were any, actually.
I don't think Poltergeist had anything. I think they just had a medium.
A medium, basically.
It's the first medium I think I ever saw.
Me too, and I don't even think I knew that's what she was.
Right? I was just like, she talks to ghosts. Cool.
She's talking to ghosts in the walls.
Right?
How does she know?
Right?
But yeah. So I don't know if there were any ghost hunting. So I didn't think about it. I was just like, I just want to know more and more. And then we built a brand new home, my family, when I was 14 years old, in a huge vacant property. There was nothing there. And nothing happened, but I'm about to tell you when something happened. So being the curious person that I was into the paranormal and no ghost hunting tools, as of course there weren't any, what was the only ghost hunting tool really that we knew about back then?
Oh, back then. Oh my goodness. I know what you're going to say. You're going to say Ouija board, aren't you? No, it's always the Ouija board.
It's the only thing there was.
Never use a Ouija board.
Okay, I didn't, because I didn't get an actual one. I made it.
Oh no. Is that better or worse if you made it?
I think it's the same. Oh. I don't know. I DIY'd it. But it wasn't my full idea. I'm going to say two of my friends, we were having a slumber party at, because we're teenagers.
That's how all Ouija boards start, with a slumber party.
It was a slumber party that turned into, what are we doing? What's happening? So we made out a poster board and the planchette. Is it called the planchette?
I think so. Something like that.
It was just poster board. I mean, we were just, I don't know.
Winging it at this point.
Yeah. I don't know if it was really working. To us at the time, it felt like it was working. And then it was fun until one of the girls freaked out and started saying she saw a silhouette of a person. And she was just
in your room?
Well, it wasn't my room.
Oh, good. That's better that it wasn't your room.
Not yet. No, it was in my friend's room. And she was actually from out of town. So she freaked out and said she could see somebody and she could talk to him, and found out his name and all that.
Whoa. Without the Ouija board, or while she was using it?
We stopped using the Ouija board at that point, because we're
that's even scarier.
What are you seeing? You know, what's going on? And it got kind of scary, but I don't know if I should say that. I'm not going to say this next part.
Oh, come on. You can't leave us with half a story. Now you have to finish the story. Come on.
I'm getting can you see me getting red? I don't know. She found out more information about him, how he died, how old he was, our age too. So we were 15, 16.
Right.
And she seemed to think that he was from a bad side of Houston, and kind of maybe a thug in a way, because he didn't like my other friend at all.
Really?
But he liked me.
Huh.
So yeah, it made me feel a little better that he liked me, but still he didn't like somebody
You're else.
At
least I'm not excluded.
And then she left to go back out of town, wherever she was from.
Right. But he stayed?
Well, right after she left, in my room, I finally saw something that I was like, what was that?
Oh no.
I would always sleep with my closet door closed and light off.
I still do.
Well, I don't anymore since then.
Oh, I still do. It's never going to change.
I used to, because of the whole poltergeist and the clown in the closet.
Now you know.
It affects everyone, doesn't it?
Right.
Well, us at least. I woke up and I was like, that's strange. I left the closet door closed and the light off for sure. But I was like, maybe I didn't. So it didn't happen again, and it kept happening almost every night.
So it's closed, and then you found it open
with the light on.
Mm-hmm. Ooh, now see, that's something pretty strong if it's turning on your lights and opening doors.
And then I would hear noises and stuff, and that's when I told my friend, I'm like, is anything happening at your place? Because that's where we did it.
Yeah.
And she was like, no, let me ask my other friend if she's
the one that initially saw it.
Mm-hmm. And she didn't see him anymore.
Oh, so he just stayed with you.
He followed me home.
Oh, no.
But more things kept happening to the point where I started telling my brother, and of course my brother's into the paranormal and everything. He's like, oh my God, you play with the Ouija board. They definitely followed you home.
See?
I'm never going in your room again. My brothers never stepped foot in my room again. They just
never.
They hated. They said they had this eerie feeling when they would go in my room and they would just not go in there.
Wow.
And I would be like, no, come over here and talk to me. They're like, stand at the threshold. I'm like,
oh, man.
But more things started happening, especially with my blinds, to the point where they would twist and turn. And I would be like, I know I didn't do that.
That's definitely weird.
Is the air doing this? I would check the air vents. I was trying to really debunk this.
Now, do you think it was still that same guy or something else?
Because it was all happening. It kept happening over and over again. The blinds, the same thing over and over again. And to the point where my brother started taking pictures every time.
Oh, my God.
And I would tell him, look, it's doing it. It did it again. And he'd come and like check. And it just wouldn't stop. And then I started getting nightmares. And I don't know if this is... I felt like it was something, and you heard of sleep paralysis?
Yes.
I think that's what it was, but I'm not sure because to me it felt really, it was terrifying.
Yeah.
It was terrifying. And I don't think it was, I mean, I could say it wasn't from this ghost, but like.
Well, I mean, it's kind of a coincidence altogether. I mean, and I don't believe in coincidence.
I was really scared because every night I would wake up at 12 a.m. On the dot? From this sleep paralysis.
Whoa.
And I would wake up crying and I would wake up praying and I couldn't take it anymore. So I ended up telling my mom and she at some point brought over someone from the Catholic Church to like pray over the room or cleanse it or something. And then it stopped.
There you go. So at least you had a solution.
Well, the sleep paralysis stopped. Right. But the other stuff did in a way, but then it kind of never left. But I just like lived with it. It was fine.
So how many years did that happen?
From 14 until I was 21.
Wow.
I dealt with it for years.
See, so you've been around the paranormal for a long time.
And but there's more. Wait, there's more.
So there's more.
There's more. So, okay, that was that. And then, but every time somebody would come into the house, like a friend or a relative or a little kid that doesn't know what he's really seeing, you know, that kind of thing. They're like too small to know that, like, they would always know that there was something in the house. They would be like, girl, do you know that? I'm like, I had never told them anything.
So that's just like poltergeist. They're like, they're here.
Like everybody always knew that there was something there. And some of them hesitated to tell me.
Why? Oh, because they didn't want to scare you.
Yes. They're like, I had one friend that like, she literally came in the house and then we're going to my room and she stopped at the threshold. And I sat down in bed. I'm like, you can sit here. And she goes, okay. And she kind of like didn't want to walk in. And finally, like later on, like almost at the end of the night, she told me that we heard a noise. And she's like, what was that? And I'm like, I don't know. This house makes a lot of noises.
Right.
She's like, well, it's your ghost. And I'm like, what?
Like, what do you mean? What
she's like, I felt it when I came in. I'm like, what? I didn't even know she could like feel things like that. And then she told me it's a young male.
See?
Yeah, it was really coincidental that she said that. And then okay, so that was that. And then I had another friend that was literally in my driveway waiting for me to get out. She said she had the window down. And I never tell anybody.
Yeah.
Everybody's about to find out.
Right. Now they know. Now you've told everybody.
Nobody knows this actually. And she texted me. She's like, hey, are you almost done? Are you almost out here? And I'm like, yeah, I'm fixing to go. She's like, okay. And then like I was like, that's weird that like she literally just got there. She was already like
in 5 minutes.
It just sounded like she was in a rush mode, and I'm like, this doesn't seem.
You're like don't be rushing me.
No, but it didn't seem like we weren't in a rush or anything. Right. So I just kind of got a weird vibe when she said, like, are you almost out here? Like, okay. So I go out there and she's like, we're on the way somewhere. She's like, I didn't want to tell you, but she's like, is your place haunted? I'm like, why do you say that?
Oh my gosh.
Because she said property, not the house.
Yeah,
it's like the driveway is like a little further down.
That's why when you say vacant lot, I'm like, but is it vacant? You never know when you build.
Oh yeah, for sure. So it's an hour and a half. Sorry, it's an acre and a half. So it was completely vacant. So like the house sits on one side and the driveway sits in the other one. And then she said that she was just sitting there on her phone and she said she felt like this rush come towards her to her window. And it was not good. Like she said she was scared, terrified of it, to the point like she rolled up her window and she texted me. She's like, "Are you coming?"
Oh my
She
gosh.
wanted to get the hell out of there.
Yeah.
And then I had another friend.
So everyone's experiencing this.
There's two other people that told me, because they were actually psychics, both of them, that I know them personally. So it's not like I just like invited psychics to come to the house. They both told me the same thing, that it was built on ancient Indian burial grounds.
See, now that makes sense.
They're unrested souls.
So you started watching poltergeist and then living poltergeist.
Basically, oh my God, my friend just told me the same thing.
Right.
You know what? You know that scene? Oh my God, we're going way off. I'm sorry, I talk a lot. But you know that scene in Poltergeist where it was built underneath, so they kind of started rising up, right? Remember that? Because they were
in the swimming pool.
Yes, they were unsettled, and we're. Oh my God, I want to air all my business. We're having issues.
That's what we're here for. That's what we're here for. We're here to get all the dirt. Literally.
Well, we're having, like, my parents are having issues with on that same property, having issues with the ground, the foundation moving, but also there's like
a new build, and then they had
the new build was in like 1994.
Yeah, but it shouldn't be shifting that much in that long.
No, there's cracks on the floor, there's cracks on the walls, and now there's like water spouting everywhere. In the backyard.
I'm telling you woke up to poltergeist. You're living it.
This is what my friend told me too. She's a medium. She's psychic, and she's like, before you said the poltergeist, she's like, you're literally living the poltergeist scene, and I'm like,
so then you need that lady to come in. So then
what? The lady from the movie?
I'm short enough. I'm short. No, she's no longer with us. But I'm short enough. I think that I can come in and be like, this house is clean.
Can you do that? Can you do that?
Only if I get to wear the same outfit. We'll have to find the same outfit, and I'll come in and cleanse the house.
And then you can leave this house.
Right. Actually, if I come in, it's probably going to get worse. See, that's when you need SPI to come in to clear that out. They probably could tell you a lot more about it. That's what we have them for. They are the experts on all of that. They could probably come in and clean
it's actually
the whole thing.
Not my property, so I can't give permission. If it was my property, I would already had called them a long time.
Right.
And you, but like, it's not my property, so I can't. But I feel like you were right on point when you said poltergeist and that, and I'm like, my friend just literally told me that. And then also I have another friend who's a psychic that told me the same thing about this was built in ancient burial ground, and I'm like, God, wow. Too many people. And when that property was bought, it was everything around there was vacant.
Right.
So who knows what was there?
And especially with a lot of ancient burials. I mean, even with Native Americans and with any indigenous people from lands, they didn't have a whole lot of markers per se that would still be present. So that was something that was incorporated later, putting up headstones and different things. And when we started not having anywhere knowing where they're buried, and when the people were moved, like they were forced off their land, that their burial grounds are left here. So you never know where you're building. I mean, that stuff happens. It's real life.
It's something, because when people will see shadow figures in our house that they don't live there, and they see them. And I did see a shadow figure. That's the only time that I was like really, really scared, to the point where I froze. It was a shadow figure that was in my room. And then there's so many people that came to my house that see these shadow figures.
Like multiple shadow figures?
But I'm not scared.
So you have a shadow figure convention in your house?
Yes.
Poltergeist / shadow figure.
Do you want to come see it?
I do. See, everything has evolved from me since I've started this show. You know, we're now on season 2. So
I'm so excited about
ever since we started this, I used to run from it, and now I run towards it. So your views start to change. Like how you started watching horror and you started enjoying it and different things. Now it's like I'm sitting there watching horror movies more now than I ever have, and I'm going, that's not how it really happens. As if I'm an expert or something.
That's why there's like all my friends know too. They're like, why you're into horror but you don't even really watch the movies? I'm like, I'm more into the paranormal.
Right. More into that side.
I'm the paranormal queen, not the horror queen. You know, like, so it's different. And so I used to be really scared when I was younger, and now I get more excited. Is that weird to say? Like,
no,
because
you've learned about it. That's honestly part of the reason starting my show is there's so many people curious. Yeah. Kind of like how you started. We start with horror because that's where we get that. Or someone starts with a haunting, or both. You started with both,
and we start scared out of our minds.
And then once you start learning and educating yourself about spirits and paranormal entities, and then you get into cryptids and you start getting into this world, you start to educate yourself, and then the fear starts to ebb a little bit. And there's lots to be afraid of, but there's lots to not be afraid of. Because if a spirit is there communicating or visually representing themselves, they're wanting to talk to you generally. Yeah. And maybe it's good, maybe it's bad. You just don't know. But when you educate yourself, you can, like your parents brought in someone from the church. I mean, that's the route that I would go.
I don't know if my dad knows this.
Oh, no. We'll tell them. Well, I have to bleep that out. No, you don't hear that. You didn't hear that. No.
I think the scaredness of it all turned into more of like just trying to learn from it and just like focused all its energy of that into just wanting to learn more and more about the paranormal field. And I'm also I feel if a spirit is trying to communicate with you, it's because of a reason. Yeah. They want something. Most of the time they want help. And it's like, how do you help them? I don't know how to do that.
Right.
I would love to. Mm-hmm. And it's like, I don't know. But I want to be able to communicate with them and see if I can somehow help or bring them some kind of peace or be with someone next to me that can help them.
Right, exactly. Like at least a guide to get them to the place. That's why when we started our show, we hired SPI to come with us. We were like, please partner with us, come with us and show the world how you guys do that. Mm-hmm. But of course, what they do on the show is going to haunted locations versus their actual job where they're going residential and doing work that we still haven't even seen yet. Like I would love to watch them in action. Like they are like the real life Ghostbusters.
I know. I think I told somebody the other day, like they don't do this for, not on their end. They don't film their investigations or cases because they're real life cases. They're the real life Ghostbusters.
And really dark. Like they only do the heaviest stuff. Yeah. So that's why with our show, we were we dipping our feet into the water, so to speak, test the temperature, see how cold it is. And then we went from that to, I wanted to have females because we haven't seen an all-female show.
No.
But what was your first show that you watched, though? What was the first show that got you interested in wanting to be on a paranormal show?
It was 2012. I remember the year. And it was Ghost Adventures. So from there, it was like, I was like, oh my God, there's all these shows happening. Okay, so I'm going to tell you right now that I never had cable growing up. And it wasn't until like my late 20s that I was with a partner who did have cable. So I would start coming across these shows, and I came across Ghost Adventures. I was like, oh my God, I love this. And then the next one, and then the next one. And I was like, there's this whole world of paranormal shows that I had no idea even existed. And I was hooked and I was obsessed. And I was like, This is my outlet to whatever I've been trying to find my entire life. Is just like, they don't have the answers either, but
it's fun to find out and explore.
I can watch and see if anybody found anything out, and I was there for it. And
so Ghost Adventures inspired you.
Ghost Adventures, Ghost Hunters, Dead Files. What was the other one that I watched?
You had a few.
There were so many. And at that point, I'm like, oh my God, I got to start investigating. What do I do? There's all these ghost hunting tools. And I started like buying a few of them, but I could not find anybody to go ghost hunting with me because we're very rare. Right. We can't just find anybody anywhere that will like sustain
it's becoming
interest.
More popular. Now because of the media and the shows. And that's what I'm hoping to inspire is that if people do want to go ghost hunting, that they do it the right way. Yeah. Because I say people are going to do what they want to do anyways. I don't want to tell everybody to go out there ghost hunting because they don't know how to protect themselves, how to cleanse themselves, how to do all these things. Because when I first started, instantly things are coming home with me. And I'm like, exactly. I need help, freaking out, not knowing. Now, and I grew up with a haunted house too. So to me, that was normal, but I didn't have a lot of friends. After a while, people stopped wanting to stay over at my house. So it's like, at least your friends would be like, hey, there's a ghost in your house. Yeah. Mine would go, hey, what was that? I just saw handprints across your glass, and leave.
Oh, no.
And then so all my friends kind of dissipated time after time. I had a few. You have to find your group. your people. You have to find your people who love the paranormal. And that way they're not running from it. They're running to it with you.
Right. I found a few. And I mean, it's the reason I found you too.
Yeah.
I literally was like, I have to, like, I take a little hiatus from ghost hunting, the paranormal. During the, like, at the pandemic, right after the pandemic, I was like, I got kind of sick from, I'll cross that out. After the pandemic, I just kind of took a hiatus from the paranormal and started focusing on other things. But then last year, I was like, no, I got to get back into this. This is what I love to do.
Yeah.
Because I was focusing so much on cosplaying, trying to put my energy into that.
Right.
Because I wasn't doing the paranormal because I didn't really have anybody to do it with.
Aww.
And so I'm like, last year I was like, no, I'm going to get back into this. I'm going to find my tribe again. I'm going to find my tribe. So I started adding groups from Houston, from San Antonio. As soon, like, I think I had been doing it for like a week, just adding groups. And then I get an invite for your premiere for season 1.
Yeah.
I didn't know
our launch party for season 1.
Yes. I didn't know where you came from. I was like, what is this? This looks amazing. I want to be part of it. And I told my friend, I was like, will you go with me? She's like, yeah. I was like,
we weren't even hiring for casting or anything at that time. And it was the second I met you at the launch party.
Yeah.
Of course, it's at the Wunchy Brothers, which is haunted, which made it even better. That everyone basically, they're like, hey, put her on the show.
Oh my God.
And I'm going, what? And everybody's going, put her on the show. Put her on the show. And I went, okay. And I was like, I will interview her. I will consider it. And I was like, because we needed more people, because more personalities and more people exploring. I mean, when you try to get all these women with a schedule, and at the same time, like, can you all be here at this time?
Yeah, I'm pretty open with my schedule. Right. I didn't go to get cast. I mean, obviously, I would have loved, like, I just saw the group, the picture, and I'm like, I'd love to be a part of this group. I didn't know I was going to get casted for it. So that was like a great surprise. But I was just happy to be there and be around like other people that enjoyed watching what we were watching in the paranormal, and I was just like so happy. It's like my happy place to go. And then I met you and all the other girls, and then y'all were right away like, hey, you want to be on the show? I'm like, my dream is coming true. Because I literally was looking for like a girl group to go ghost hunting with, but it's like
hard to find.
Bonus, I got even more than that. So I was like, yes. So yeah, I mean.
So what was your first impression whenever you came to see the show? What was your first impression? Be honest.
About the show or the whole event?
The whole thing.
I loved it all. The event. I mean, it had everything, like ghost hunting. It had paranormal investigators. It had food. It had a psychic.
That's how you get me anywhere. Ghost, food, both.
Yes, I was eating it up and watching your show like, this is great.
Nice. I love it.
I loved it. And I did my research. So right as soon as I got the invite, which was like 2 days before, I was like, oh my God, I got to find out more about this show. So I went to your YouTube channel and started watching as many videos as I could. That way I would know who you were.
That's what I like to hear. That's what I like to hear.
And yeah, so as soon as like I got on stage to meet y'all, it's like, oh, there they are. They're real. I was just so happy to be there. I didn't know that it was going to turn into something else. And
it was great because we got to meet. That presented so many opportunities. I got to meet you. I got to meet Lisa. So then I was like, Lisa, Issa. I was like, this is meant to be. I mean,
it's meant to be.
It's perfect. It's like, can we put this on a t-shirt?
Can we have a song about it? It already rhymes. Like,
there we go. We'll get someone to.
Hey,
and she's a musician, so.
Oh yeah, she can make a song.
See, so she can make a song. There we go.
She can make her song. It was. I didn't see her there because I probably ran across her, but I didn't know she was there until I saw the pictures.
Well, she was like undercover too. So y'all were both almost like undercover, and then everybody finds y'all and goes, "Put them on the show." And I went, "Okay."
I was like a little mouse in there. I was like, I'm just gonna like be here, like nobody's gonna notice me, but that's cool because I'm having fun.
Oh, I loved it. And then we had a psychic there as well.
Mm-hmm. I did get a reading, of course.
Did you? So how did that go? Did she say you were going to be on the show? Did she know?
You know what? She did not. Yeah, she didn't want to ruin the surprise.
Oh, there you go. She was keeping it on the down low.
Yeah, she didn't want to ruin the surprise. I should have asked her, am I going to be a show? No,
right. You're like, am I next? What's going
to happen? No, right. She was pretty good. I really enjoyed the entire event.
Very cool. So you said you have a friend who's a psychic as well. So what's it been like having a psychic as your friend?
So it's crazy how we met because I didn't know anything about her. We were in a crowded room somewhere, and a lot of people are intimidated by her because I don't know, maybe it's her energy because she's very strong. And me, I was not. I went right up to her,
There you go.
and she was talking to somebody else that I knew. So I just went and I stood in between them, and I'm just looking at her talk and the person in this.
You just like
I was
awkwardly, like random,
really random, awkwardly standing there, like watching their conversation. And finally, like the other girl introduced me, and then I just started talking to her, and I was like, oh my God, I want her to be my best friend.
Oh, I love it.
And
So
I didn't know
energies.
but she didn't tell me. I'm gonna out her out. But she didn't know. But she didn't tell me she was a medium or psychic or had any abilities till a year or a year and a half into our friendship.
Wow.
Because she's very low key about it. She doesn't tell anybody. And then it made sense because I'm like, well, she was always right about stuff.
Right? You're like, she's got good instincts.
Her advice was not advice. It was like
she knew that.
It's things she already knew. But I love going to her for everything because she always has such good advice. But really,
Right.
like she was and when I didn't listen to her, she'd be like, I told you. I'm like,
I love it.
But yeah, we've been friends ever since. And it's been about it's 2016. I can't do the math right now.
Like, it's been a while.
8 years.
8 years now.
8 years. Yeah.
Aww.
And she's the one that went with me to your event. So she loved you as well. She
was great. When I met her, it took me 2 seconds. I went, "You're a psychic." She's like looking at me, and I was like, "'Cause I know things too."
Exactly.
And she was like, "How in the heck did you know that?"
I wanted y'all to meet. I didn't want
Right.
to say anything to anybody, but I was thinking they both need to meet each other.
Oh yeah, she was great. I think it's good to have people in your circle that's gifted. Because I think it helps, especially if you're interested in the paranormal.
Yeah.
And you start going to investigations, whether they're, in big groups or small, that having people that are gifted and talented, I think just elevates the experience.
Yeah. She just doesn't do the ghost hunting. But I would love her to
She doesn't
join
go,
us.
oh no.
No. She does. She can see ghosts.
She's
everywhere.
like, I see this everywhere.
She
I don't need to
doesn't
go
need to
ghost
investigate. They're literally in front of her.
They hunt her.
She can see them like as real life people, but she knows how to distinguish. So she's always trying to kind of like shut them out so she can live her life.
Yeah.
So she knows I go ghost hunting, but she's like, I'm good.
But maybe being around her energy can help you when you investigate.
Oh,
Because
yeah.
sometimes energy is, I say energy can be residual, like residual hauntings. So whoever you surround yourself with can be residual as well. So if you surround yourself with positive people, you'll find yourself being more positive. You find yourself with negative people.
Yeah.
You find yourself more negative. You start surrounding yourself with paranormal gifted people. It starts to elevate the vibration, so to speak.
Yes. I feel like ever since I started being on the show and met you, I feel like more things have opened up as far as like I've been having a lot more. I don't know if I told you this part, but and this has been all my life.
We've got technical difficulties.
I say I'm not afraid. Yes, I am. I'm not afraid of ghosts, but like little sounds like that freak me out. I forgot what I was gonna say. All my life I've always had, and this only happens probably like once a year all my life, where I have a dream and it comes true. And
oh wow,
it's crazy because sometimes it's a small thing, but sometimes it's like a big life event. And
That's
it's like
cool.
to the T. Like if someone's talking in the dream, it's like they're saying the same exact thing per like word, what is it called? Verbatim.
Yeah, verbatim.
And that hadn't happened too much. But as soon as I started doing this again, these dreams are
What?
almost every night.
Every night?
Almost. And I
Ah!
forget them because, you wake up from a
Yeah.
dream and then you're like, oh my God, I had this dream, blah, blah. And then like 10 seconds later, it's out of your
Yep.
memory. But the big ones, I remember those because they're very emotional type, like
Yeah.
vivid. And I told my friend, I'm like, I've been having these like dreams
See?
more often and they come true. And she's like, well, ever since you started, with the show, like it's opening up your
Yep.
gift more. And I'm like, oh.
It's
I have
like,
a
yay.
gift. I have a gift.
You like it?
That's the only gift I have. The dreams that come true. I mean,
That's still a gift.
I wish I was awake and could see
Right.
things. That would be a little better.
It might start happening. We start doing this
Hey.
more and more.
And I remember you did tell me that. You told me that a lot of people, once they start dipping their
Dip
toes
toe
into
in.
the paranormal, their gifts or abilities will start to get stronger and stronger. And I feel like that's been happening with me as well. So
Yay, that's exciting.
I'm excited about that.
Oh, yeah. Because we've got so much coming up. So,
I'm so excited. I'm so excited for everything.
So tell me about, you've gone on investigations yourself, like to try to, like you say, dip your toe in and to learn and to experience. Yes. So what's the craziest experience you've had so far? Like when you've been trying to investigate?
I've been trying to investigate. Well, usually I investigate with big groups, though.
Oh, okay.
So I don't really get to do myself. But I will say this one time, I was at an event. It was a ghost hunting event. And we went to Seguin, Texas. Yeah. And it was a hotel. I can't remember the hotel name. But me and my friend went off to investigate on our own because we can go off from the group. So we're like, let's go. And she brought her laptop. Somehow she has some software that hooked up to the Connect system.
Whoa.
Where it shows you like this your stick figure as you're moving.
Yeah.
Like that Dance Revolution. You know that game where it like scans you?
Yeah.
And because you're supposed to copy the moves in the
maybe it is the Dance Revolution.
No, the Dance Revolution is the one that you step on in the at the arcade. That's not the same thing. Sorry. No, what's it called? Oh, anyway. So it's supposed to scan your body to get the moves that you need to do to copy the people dancing in the video game, right? Well, there was some software that she found that you could put it in a laptop and it would just scan you without like having to have the game or anything.
Wow.
And so she's like, let's try it out. So we set it up in this huge ballroom that was there. And she got in front of it and we're just testing it out. And she starts dancing and moving around. I'm like, I can see her stick figure. I'm like, okay, it's working.
That's neat.
So then she got out of the way and then we faced it a different way to get the whole ballroom. And we're just talking. And all of a sudden we noticed there's like a figure in it. Smaller than a human person. Like this, like the human stick figure was this tall and the figure was like this much. But it was like moving awkwardly. Like it was almost trying to form.
Like a child size or smaller?
It looked more like a munchkin.
Oh my God.
Munchkin?
A gnome?
Maybe. It was kind of like, I don't know. It was like moving around. I don't know. But we were like. Oh,
suddenly the lights are on and it's a raccoon in a top hat.
Funny.
And you're like, that's awkward. Where did you get the top hat?
So as soon as we started to walk towards it, it disappeared. But then we walked back and then another one shows up. And we're like, oh my God.
Same size?
Mm-hmm. And then another person tried to walk to it, it disappeared. And finally there was more people coming through and they were like, oh my God, what is that? Like, then we had a whole crowd of people watching the stick figures on it. Because we were the only ones.
Of witnesses to this.
We were the only ones that had this type of ghost hunting tool. Like, no, everybody else had like the regular stuff.
She basically invented something that's like, now you have to go pay all this money for it. And she's over here inventing it.
Shout out to Kat.
Right. With her invention.
Yeah.
Copyright hashtag.
It was to the point where even like the people who put on the event messaged me when they saw me post it on Facebook and said, where did you get that?
Oh,
what kind of software did you use? And I'm thinking, aren't you with the event? You don't know this? I should be in this. I should be running this. I'm just kidding. No, but that was the craziest thing that I think I've witnessed because we weren't expecting it at all.
Yeah. And you don't know what it is.
And we still don't know what it was.
Maybe that goes into the world of cryptids or something.
That's why I really want to get something else. Oh, but she told me later on because I asked her about it later on and she said she didn't have that software anymore or they stopped making it or something. But it is now called the SLS. And I want to get that so bad.
See, there
and
you
I
go.
know you want to get it so bad too.
Mine is it's so iffy sometimes with the SLS, but I've seen so many people use it. And like, especially if you're down a dark hallway, you know it's not picking up something unless it's picking up something. So I really want to test it down a really dark hallway.
So you have it?
I want it.
Oh, okay. I was like, you have it? Give it to me.
You're like, you became Mr. Burns.
Did you see me?
You were like... I was like waiting for you to go
jump this table. Let's go right now. Oh my God.
It's on my list. I like the thermals too. I like to pick up the heat signatures. But I feel like that I know with spirits that temperature changes. So I'd like to see the difference. Like if you could see it gets really cold, gets really hot, and that way you could distinguish between it. Like I'm always worried, like what if there's no one down there that you're seeing and it starts getting really hot? And I'm like, is that a demon? Like what is that? Like I haven't explored that world yet of heat
That's
signatures.
what I heard. But
Yeah.
if it's hot, it's a demon because it's bad.
Right. And if you smell sulfur, run.
Oh my God, my
So one
friend
time
just
I
told
think
me
I'm
the
gonna
other day.
run.
Somebody just told me the other day about sulfur and being demonic if you smell it.
Yeah. If you
But I
smell
don't know
sulfur.
what sulfur smells like, so I'm like,
Oh, you'll know. You'll know. You don't want to know until you know, and then you smell it. I've had, I think when we were at Old Town Spring at one point, that we were like, oh my God. And it was really strong.
really?
Yeah. And it was in one spot, and it was in the same spot. They do the Old Town Spring Ghost Walk, where they had a picture that looked like a portal. And up until this point, I was very skeptical. Even with my experiences, I'm always debunking and skeptical.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I will be open-minded to everything, but I'm going to go with a logical explanation first.
Yes.
And so whenever she showed me the picture, and of course they take them in sequence, there's nothing there, and then it's like almost like a spiral,
Yeah.
and then nothing there. And then we're standing right by that spot, and you start smelling like a sulfur
Wow.
smell. And it smells like,
What does it smell like? Like
you really want me
rust?
to describe? Like burning anus. Not that I've ever smelt a burning
Oh.
anus, but I imagine that's what it smells
definitely have
like.
not smelled the burning anus before.
That's how I envision that it would be, burning anus. So that's
Demons
that's me.
burning
Hashtag,
anus?
demons burning anus.
That's what they smell like.
That's what I picture, burning anus.
Oh, wow. Okay, I'll keep a smell out for that.
You'll just have to use your imagination. Don't imagine too much. That's
Oh
scary.
my goodness.
Way scarier than poltergeist, even though you live it. You live
I think I'm
poltergeist.
living. I think I'm living it.
Oh my God. So what's it like been on the show so far?
I love it. Okay, so we've only filmed one episode, but
Right.
it was amazing, and I can't wait to film the other. How many do we have? 6,
Several?
7? Or you're like, I don't want to give it away.
Several, because
Several.
you never know what'll come through and what won't.
Mm-hmm.
We've got all kinds of stuff coming up. We've got, let's see, I don't want to give away my places yet, but
Yeah.
I'll give away one,
Okay.
that we're actually going to be staying in a funeral home.
Yes.
So
I'm so excited for that one.
that's used to, I would never stay someplace haunted. So did you ever
Oh, really?
look up
No,
haunted
I have
places and
place-
that's where you go?
That's where I go. That's
That's
what I
where
do. I had like whole road trips around the United States just based on the locations that have been on ghost shows and stayed at these hotels and places just because I'm
So
like,
that was your criteria.
there's
Must
my
be
whole
haunted.
my vacations are always they revolve around ghost hunting, haunted locations.
There we go.
That's what I do. So yeah, I've stayed at them before, but nothing crazy has happened. But I just, I have.
Have you had a ghost jump into bed with you yet?
No, I'm
yet.
guessing you have. Because no, you ask.
Not yet. I'm thinking that maybe at the funeral home this might be stuff. They said that they get into bed with you. So
I heard they're friendly though.
yeah, they're friendly
Okay.
so far.
Well, they're invited then. If
Right.
they're friendly.
And they'll know we're
There's
coming. Like, I always go a day early. So you've seen so far that I like to go a day early.
Yeah.
So that, because I always feel like otherwise you're barging in with cameras going, hey, is anyone here? How old are you? Are you
gotta-
male? Are you and then they're like, okay.
You don't want to bombard them because
Yeah,
then they'll be standoffish.
Right.
You want to introduce yourself and get them to get comfortable with you.
Right. Because
And
I
then-
think that could
and then they're
going
gonna
to
chat it up.
There we go. Exactly. That's why a lot of people, they say that they wonder about our show. But it's like, how do you have experience every time? And it's like, well, first of all, I wish the camera caught it every time.
Oh, well.
I think that all the ghost shows have the same issue,
thing.
is catching something, because then by the time you hear something, it's going to be when your camera's pointed this way. But then people go, oh, it must be fake. It's like, no, you don't think spirits don't want to mess with you? Throw stuff behind you and they know there's not a camera
They
there.
know when we're filming them.
know.
They know. So basically, yeah, that's what happened at Yorktown too. We got there a day early, and before we were filming, or when we weren't filming, things were happening, and we're like, darn it.
And then and then the thing was erased.
And you always hear that on ghost shows too, where they're like, "Oh, we didn't have the cameras running." Well, I believe them because that was happening to us.
Yep.
That was happening to us.
That's what it took for me, because I love the shows, but I know that a lot of reality shows are entertainment.
Mm-hmm.
And I know even us that we're still producing entertainment, because I mean, no one wants to see us just sit in a circle and then it's boring. So
Right.
that's why instead of scripting or doing all the stuff like some reality shows do, is we wanted it to be organic, natural. Everybody shows up and we start investigating, but we do so much goes into locations. We
Yes.
research the history. We research the location. A lot of times we scout ahead of time to make sure, because if I go somewhere and I don't feel anything, like that's going to be a boring episode. So,
You should know
Yeah.
which location is good to go, right? So
right. Usually it's recommended to us. So people have asked us how we book a location. It usually comes recommended with references, and then I have to have a history. Even sometimes if it's just rumors, that's still fun.
Yeah, it's
But-
so fun.
I mean, Yorktown, that we can't find a lot of stuff. I did find some of the doctors there, the nurses. I have lists of people that were there.
Yeah.
It's like, but still, everything is, the records are gone.
Yeah.
Where are these records?
Somebody got rid of them.
I know.
And
see?
we know who, or we think
Right?
we know
think
who.
we know. Maybe we know.
Well, maybe the doctor, because he was doing some shady stuff in there.
Yeah.
So he probably took off with everything he could.
I think that happens. I think
I
in a
think
lot of
that-
these
I think that
locations,
happens.
that's why they're haunted. Is that shady stuff that shouldn't be happening happens there.
And that energy stays with it. So
Negative
therefore, then it becomes like the whole place becomes like
right.
that energy. And I mean, that place was,
That was, we were warned though. The paranormal twins warned me. We had people who've been there that warned me. And something I don't think I've announced on air is before we decided to go, because I actually said no and turned it down. I was the first person I said, no, I'm not going there. And I was like, these girls are not ready for this. And it's like, SPI, this is their jam. And I was like, but I don't know if we're ready for this.
You're like,
I mean,
don't
I'm being honest with myself, because demons are something I'm learning.
Yeah.
And I think that educating yourself is important. Just like even poltergeist, that's all you had to educate yourself at the time. And now it's happening in your house.
Yeah.
So what do you do when you don't know what to do?
I don't know
at that point?
still don't know what to do. But as far as Yorktown, I mean, that was like the first episode we filmed, and I was like, oh my God, this is like huge. This is huge. Because I mean, that was a place that I've always wanted to investigate, I think for 12 years now.
Wow.
Since I first saw it on a show, I was like, I'm going there. And I finally got to go. But I was like, it's the first one. I was so excited. At the same time, I was like, oh, I was nervous because it was the first one. And I knew the story of it. I knew the history of it. I knew like there was a portal in there and it's bad. And I'm like, I'm just going to jump myself right into like the worst one.
It wasn't supposed to be the first one. I felt so bad that I threw everyone into the fire.
That means it's just easy sailing from now on.
Right, exactly. I threw everyone into the burning anus. Everyone, head first. Head first. Right.
But no, I'm good now because I mean, that was the worst. Like, yeah, it was good. We're good.
I figured if y'all could make it through that, then y'all could make it through
I made
the rest.
it, and I really experienced more there than I thought.
Yeah.
As far as like how it affected me.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't realize it till like a few days later, and I was like, oh my God, this place really affected me.
Yeah.
And then it was like, well, yeah, it was one of the most haunted locations in the world.
Right,
I
exactly.
decided to be the first. And so I investigated so many places, but nothing that has ever been said to be this bad.
Right.
So I think that's why I got affected so much. But I mean, yeah, we should have smooth sailing from now on.
There you go. And I do go in with a game plan. Like everybody, doesn't realize that things for the show is that I'll go, okay, we're investigating here and here. Here's, we decide who the teams are. We decide who's best for everything. That's the stuff that is planned. Mm-hmm. But as you saw, does anything go as planned?
No, nothing, nothing. And that's how it works though.
Which to me, I'm not an adrenaline junkie by any means, but I do like the excitement of I do have a plan, and that sometimes things are thrown off as long as it doesn't throw my schedule. And last time, my whole schedule got thrown off.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And I ended up having to, as you saw, leave the location because I got physically ill.
Yeah.
And that was one thing I didn't expect.
Right.
That's why people, before they just jump into these haunted locations or see a show and go, I can do that, I say, have years of experience and have experienced teams.
Yeah.
Because don't just go, and first of all, never go by yourself. Oh my God.
Never. I've always been in groups, and There was only one time that I almost was left in the hallway by myself, and I was like, "Wait, I'm in the hallway by myself."
You were in the hallway?
I was in the hallway
Where
by
was that?
myself.
At Yorktown?
At Yorktown.
You should have never been alone.
I was alone. Okay, for like
Shame.
2 seconds, but
Okay, 2
I was
seconds.
like, "Wait, everybody left," and I'm just gonna stand there and wait for everyone to come back.
We'll excuse
Why?
2 seconds.
I'm like, "Wait for me." I wasn't scared, but at that point I wasn't scared, but I was like, I could get scared.
Right.
So I'm not going to wait till then because we're not even filming. If something's going to happen to me, I need it to be filmed.
Right. I think season 1 should have been titled Angela Got Left Alone. And that's how we learned that let's not do that, because I would get by myself and I have lupus. So I get very, 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 very tired.
Yeah.
And that's why that doing filming, I spaced them out so far. And then with sitting there, I'm just burnt out and I'm trying not to have a lupus flare up, like I can control that.
Yeah.
But I'm sitting there and suddenly, something is coming at me. So when it stands next to someone who usually has paranormal gifts, or gifts in this world, that I always feel it in my chest. And then suddenly I felt it in my throat. And then thank God it took Amy at least a minute or so that she didn't leave me alone long, because she didn't realize I was alone.
Oh.
She had just, everybody's kind of, when you're filming, going different ways.
Yeah, that's what happened to me too. Like,
See?
all of a sudden I was like, oh,
I'm
it's just me.
alone in a haunted hospital.
And I remember, and what you said came to my mind, that nobody is to be left alone.
Correct.
I heard you in my head say that, and I was like, okay, I'm going.
Right. Amy taught me that. She goes, nobody left alone. And so she found me and she's like, are you okay? And I was coming out of it. And then that's when I realized that something had happened to me, because you don't even realize it when it's happening to you unless you've been doing it for a while.
Okay. Yeah.
So you're going to start seeing, you'll start
what
seeing
I
on the
want.
show.
We're not leaving. No, what is that quote saying? No man.
No man left behind.
Yes.
Or woman.
No
in this case.
women.
No woman left behind.
Right. That's gonna be.
Or
that's
cameraman.
Or cameraman. Yeah,
Right.
for sure. Like we.
He
I
goes
learned my
in. He
lesson.
goes in by himself.
Yeah.
If you can believe that. Like we went in with our cameras. Like even though one was erased.
My God, the
Right.
evidence. Like they really don't want stuff out there.
So watching the shows on TV and then being on one, has it changed your perception at all?
I see more of all the hard work that it involves and it takes, because I saw you and everybody else just working your butts off for it, and I was just like, wow, this is like a huge process with everything.
Huge.
And I really admired that. I was like, oh my God,
thank you.
like y'all are doing such a great thing here.
Or I say thank
And-
James.
Thank you, James. And I'm like, wow, that's when I was like, all these shows that I watched all my life, like this is how much it takes. Like kudos to everyone.
Right.
Kudos to everyone.
So now different level of appreciation, huh?
Yes,
Yeah.
absolutely. And gratefulness that I'm on it.
Oh, well, we're glad to have you.
Oh, I'm glad to be here.
So that's one thing I learned too, is watching the shows, is I didn't actually watch a lot of ghost shows initially.
okay.
So I know you came in as a fan.
I started because I was a fan
Right,
of you
you
too.
were-
I mean, that's how you met me. I was a fan. I showed up at the premiere because I'm like, this is a ghost show. I'm
Right.
gonna be there. It's the closest thing to it because there's nothing really
Right.
here in this area. So I was very excited about that. And I've been watching it. That's how I started watching these shows. So I've watched so many different shows, so
Right.
many episodes and locations, and I've
Yeah.
done a whole US tour of these
Love it.
locations. And then when I heard that y'all were here, I was like, oh my God, something in town. This is great.
Right? You're like, I can drive to that.
Finally,
Right.
because we never have anything here.
Right.
So-
But I was glad that you came in as a fan, though. So then you could help me along the process, too. Because I wasn't a fan at first, meaning not that I disliked it. I just didn't have experience watching the shows
Right.
because I would get scared.
Oh no.
Watching it at night, I'm just
No.
sitting there going, because versus watching like Poltergeist, it's not,
It's
necessarily
not
real.
necessarily
like,
real.
but yeah, besides your life.
Besides my life.
But you know that watching that is actors and entertainment. But when I'm watching, I think we started off with 28 Days Haunted.
Oh really?
And because that concept to me, I went,
love that show.
could I last a day? Like, how do they last 28 days? And I went, could I last a
my
day?
stress level was off the charts. By the 25th day, I'm like, I can't do this
25th
anymore.
Just see, imagine them experiencing
I
it.
was just stressed out.
So I started watching and I started going, this is real. This isn't just entertainment for some of these people. They're having real
Yeah.
experiences, because I can usually tell and gauge
Yes.
being in the world of marketing and media, we can tell what's a lot real and what's, we see that's a green screen. Oh, we see this is that.
Yeah.
That's this. But when we started the 28 Days Haunted and I saw that one of the guys was possessed, the demonologist, and I saw his eye color change.
Yeah.
And I went, I don't think they did that digitally. I said, you can
that
see something.
Very unnerving.
And even my husband, who's the biggest skeptic, you've seen James, he's our biggest skeptic. He's the debunker. He'll go, that's not real. He went, something changed. He goes,
his
that's
whole
weird.
demeanor changed.
Right.
And I was terrified.
Right.
I don't really get scared of these like ghost
That one
shows,
scared
but
me a
I
little.
was scared of this one where I watched it again because I was so scared. This is what I do.
watched
Like
it
if
again?
it scares me so much, I watch it again.
I have to see it again.
That's what happened is Poltergeist. I was so terrified. I was little, but I kept watching it over and over again.
Right.
So the 28 days, I'm like, I'm watching this again.
Were you just as scared the second time or better?
It just as well, not as scared, but I paid attention more to the details because I'm like,
There
oh my
you go.
God, I missed this last time. I'm glad I saw it again because I missed a lot of the
Right.
details. So I was really happy to like have gone to but I rewatch ghost shows all the time.
Right.
All the time. And why is it every time I start watching something happens in my room or something?
See, and that's why I didn't want to watch it because I was thinking things were going to start happening, that it was going to stir things
Did
up.
it?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. That happens to me
Instantly.
too.
It just opened up everything. It opened up my abilities again, which I had
wow.
closed off as best I could. Like the
Yeah.
instincts and the things are still there, but you try to push it down.
Yeah.
But so I started with the 28 Days Haunted, started watching the Ghost Hunters, started watching Ghost Adventures, started watching with Jack Osborne.
Oh yeah.
And
Portals to Hell.
yeah, started
I
watching
love
all those,
that.
and it was so fascinating and so then I started appreciating all of their work and going, you know what? It's like, I want to make sure that I do right by this field. That since I am the newbie coming in, the new show, I want to do right by all these people. And when you came in and you're like, I've seen this, I've seen that.
I know.
I was like, good. Now you can make sure that I'm doing right by everybody. And especially we went to our first Paracon.
Oh, that was so much fun. That was, and I'm so glad it was here in Texas. Texas never has Paracons.
I know. And Texas is so haunted. We're so big.
The first one, and we had already met. So I was like, we're going, right? And you're like,
Right.
yes. I was so excited.
Yes.
Definitely hope that more start coming through.
Yes.
I know they're already planned for next year. So excited to, get to go to that one next year.
Yeah. And they got the West Texas Paracon.
Yeah, the West Texas Paracon. I found out about that one like a couple weeks or so before we were about to leave, and I was like, "Oh my God, there's another!" Remember, I was like,
Right.
"Oh, there's another one. Are we going to go to this one?"
Another one.
And then after that, I don't think there's any more for now.
Right.
But they're going to start popping up. I feel like they're going to start popping up.
I mean, we're a huge state, and there's so many haunted locations here.
Yes.
Like Texas, we should start having them in Houston, Austin, San Antonio, Dallas. I was like, let's go.
But it's because most of the Paracons are in the east side of the United States or in the north. And I'm like, why don't they? And I'm always like curious. I'm always asking the celebrities, like, why don't y'all come over down here and do something? I'm like, could y'all just come over? Yeah, they're mostly over there. So I've been traveling to the cons. I'm traveling all this year to the cons,
Right.
but I used to travel to them, and I'm always having to fly out there. I'm like, can I just drive somewhere?
It's a long drive.
Oh, they have one in Louisiana too. I forgot what it's
That
called.
would be epic.
Actually, I'm
Louisiana is my
already going to
jam.
be out of town that day, actually.
Oh, no.
That weekend. But there is one. Then you didn't hear about it?
No, not yet. See,
Okay.
there's so many new ones popping up. I'm getting excited because I think we're finally picking
I
up
have
the
an
pace.
entire list.
Oh, you need to
for
send me
the
that list.
whole
Send me that
year.
list because we
The
need to go.
whole year. So yeah, I'm ready to go too.
That's
And I
exciting.
love to be around the paranormal. Anything to do with the paranormal. It's like
Heck
my
yeah.
happy place.
There you go. So then you're on the right show.
Yeah, I am definitely on the right show. I definitely am. I feel like I was just all the experience I've had throughout the 12 years of like going to these events and ghost hunting and watching the shows was all a led up to this.
There you go. Exactly. It all pays off.
It all paid off.
So where is the one location that you would go to, like your dream location? Like I know there's so many in your head, but one dream
I have
location.
Penhurst Asylum
Ooh.
and also Waverly Hills. Those are the two
Yes.
that I've always wanted to go. And they're actually have 2 Paracons coming up for them. So actually, I'm having to choose between which one I'm going to go to.
Oh,
so I'm
that's
still trying to
tough.
make up my mind.
So Pinhurst
Or Waverly
Waverly
Hills. Like, I don't know.
Which one do you think's more haunted? If you can even gauge how haunted the place is.
They're both so haunted.
That's
Though.
right.
Like, they're both so haunted. I would be so... I'm telling myself I'll be so terrified if I go, but...
Not now. Now
I feel like I'll be
You've been
excited.
around it so long.
I know. I'll be just excited to be there. I don't know.
So you'll have to choose. So 2. You have to go eeny, meeny, miny, mo.
I don't want to choose. They're both my babies. I don't want to choose.
Right.
I don't know, but I'm going to go to one for sure.
There you go.
I don't know which one yet,
Right.
but I will make it. And then there's what other place did I want to investigate? The Stanley Hotel.
Oh, yeah. That's high on my list. I feel like they may have overhyped it, though. Like, I don't know if it still has the same energy because I haven't been. But everyone who's been, they say it's nice to see.
Mm-hmm.
But I haven't been yet. So I'm always scared that places are going to be overhyped. And then I'm going to go and then not have an experience.
Well, I heard they stopped doing ghost tours there.
Why
Which I
would
was
you
like,
stop ghost tours
that's what I'm
in a
saying.
haunted place?
why did something happen?
I know. I was
What
like, did the
what
ghosts
happened?
leave?
I'm curious.
Did they get tired?
Did they ghosts leave? Did they get tired of being there? They're like, we're tired of this. No
Right.
pay. No pay.
Right.
I always wanted to do the Queen Mary, and I got to do it twice already. So
You got to do it
that's
twice?
off my list. Well, actually, no. I actually want to go back, though. I want to go back.
I would go. I
They
think-
just reopened it again because they shut it down to renovate and stuff because it was kind of, I don't know if I'm going to misinformation, but I heard it was falling apart.
Oh, no.
So to be safe.
a lot of haunted locations are.
Well, that ship, what is it? It was built 10 years after the Titanic. It is old.
Oh.
And I stayed there 2 nights, and it was like
Like on the ship?
Yeah.
So you
We had
stay
a-
in it. So you don't just tour
Yeah,
it.
it's a
you stay
hotel.
in it. Oh, man.
Do you want to
Oh,
go?
no.
Let's go. Why?
I hate boats. That's going to
Oh,
be my
me
next challenge. Everything that I've been scared of, I'm doing.
I cannot actually. I suffer from vertigo, so I really can't be on boats. But
Right.
it's docked, but I could still feel it moving under me,
See,
which
that's
was making
me.
me dizzy. It was making me dizzy.
That's why.
And I was, as soon as I got off, I was like, oh my god.
Were you still spinning?
I wasn't spinning anymore, but I didn't regret it because
Right.
I got
You went
to-
twice.
I went to of course I got to investigate it, and it was amazing.
What did
And-
you find?
Well, it was again with a big group, and I did have my own tools, but the hosts were using their tools, so I kind of just like focused on the tools that they were using, and there was a lot of communication coming in with their with their
wow.
tools for sure. And yeah, it was a great experience, and they closed it for like a year or so.
Dang.
And I just heard that they just reopened it.
Wow.
Like just reopened it. So
They're
I'm
probably already booked out for like a year.
I know. And you know what? They have a Halloween bash there every year.
That would be fun. I think that'd be
Celebrities
fun.
go.
I could take some drama mean and get on the boat.
You know what? I'm like, oh yeah, I did have a bad effect there. Why am I saying I'm going to go
See?
back?
Drama mean? We could do this.
I'll
For
take
the
it.
drama. That's
For-
not for the
for-
this motion sickness. It's for the drama. The drama
It's
mean.
for the drama. So, and then, what's the other location that I always wanted to go to?
You've got this.
I've been to so many.
I was gonna say you've been to so many. You gotta
Yorktown was one that I wanted to go to
There we
so
go.
bad.
We
and I
checked it
went
off.
to check it. Oh, ow.
Right.
The ghosts
I'm
are,
beating myself.
the ghosts
up.
are like, stop talking about us.
It's like, stop. Beating myself. I'm like, "Mrr." I'm Italian. I talk with my hands.
I'm not Italian, but I'm always doing. I went to the USS Lexington. Sorry,
Ooh,
another.
Is that a second boat?
No, that's the one. No, yes, no, I didn't go to that one. I'm lying.
You're lying.
Why am I lying?
Like, thank you.
No, that one's in Corpus. I've never been to that one. I don't know why. It's driving me to go over there. I think it wants
See,
me to
'cause
go.
you keep talking about it.
I know. It's like, come over here because it's so close. No, I went to the USS Hornet one in the naval ship in San Francisco.
Okay.
And I went to the to San Jose to the Winchester House. Oh, that was so awesome. But we couldn't use cameras or anything in there
Why?
because it was a tour.
Aw.
It was a tour and no pictures. I'm like, I want to
That's
investigate
like
it.
no fun. Maybe we'll have to go back and
So,
investigate there, and then we
let's
can take our
sneak
own
in
pictures.
Sneak in there. And it's so funny because when I went the Winchester movie had just came out. And I had just seen it, and I was like, this is great. I just saw the movie, and now I get to go to the place, and that was really nice. And then, oh my God, what else? The Palmer House in Minnesota. I stayed at that one.
Oh, wow.
They didn't have elevators because it was so old, and I didn't realize it. So, like, we're checking in. We're like, oh, we're in the second floor. Okay, there's no elevator. You have to lug your luggage up. I'm like, okay, cool, but it was exhausting.
Oh my
it was only on the second floor.
You have to work for it.
You imagine if you were like on the fourth floor, forget it.
Oh man.
But that's how old it was. And we had talked to the bartender, and he told us a bunch of stories about, well, you're probably going to see something in your room because that's the most haunted room there is. I'm like,
oh, so what? There you go. You're drawn to the most haunted room, of course.
No, my friend booked it. I was like, did you know that? I saw nothing.
Still a ghost hasn't jumped into bed with you yet.
No,
Not
I'm
yet.
very shocked because I've been inviting. No, I'm just kidding. No, I am not.
Like, you are not inviting them. Then you're
I take
sleep
that
somewhere
back.
separate from me.
Nobody
'cause I
heard
draw
me.
the line there. I'm a married woman. I don't want a ghost in my bed. Does that count? Like, is there a ghost in your bed? They're trying to like.
I mean, if it's a slumber party.
A ghost side piece and ghost climbs into bed. You hear about stuff like that. It's a big genre of paranormal romance. There's people.
What do you mean?
People who have romances with ghosts. You haven't heard how? Now look, I'm a newbie in this field, and I know about the paranormal romance. So people that actually have intimate relationships with ghosts, meaning that they are getting proposed to. There was a lady who said she had a ghost baby. I don't even know how that's possible, but she said it. So if it jumps into bed with you, like I don't have insurance against that if you get a ghost baby. So be sure you use phantom protection.
I'm gonna need some protection.
Ghost condoms.
What is that? They're invisible?
There you go. Exactly. I could see that. I could see some guy pulling that line on his next girlfriend. He's like, they're ghost condoms. You just can't see them, baby.
You just can't see them, but they're there.
It's not ribs. And it's not for your pleasure either. It's just for me.
I'm gonna have a ghost baby.
And then now we're gonna have a ghost baby.
They share custody because the ghost is not gonna stick around. They're
How
gonna
do you
go
get
hunt
ghost
somebody else.
How do you get ghost child support? Now that's even worse. Like you're raising a ghost baby. You can't even get daycare because they can't even see them. I mean, this is complicated. That's why ghosts better never jump into bed with me.
You can't even keep your ghost from going to haunt other girls. Like you can't. Like they're just gonna like. What do you do?
Like, how do you kick them out of bed? Like how does it work?
You just kick them out of your entire house. Like it doesn't. I don't know.
I'm just gonna be sleeping with my cross, sleeping with like all the things, and then my husband will kick them out of bed. I think they'll be intimidated by him. He's ghost repellent half the time.
Ghost repellent.
Yes. You haven't heard
there's your ghost hunting tool.
Right.
Ghost repellent.
Ghost repellent. Because as soon as they see him, it's like everything stops.
Wow.
It's true. There are people I've told that they are ghost repellent. It's a real fact that an energy they present that most, I guess it doesn't vibe with their energy. And
they're like,
disperse.
No, we don't want to play with you. That kind of thing?
Yeah. Mine is that draws them in.
Yeah.
With ghosts and weird people. So
weird people too. People. Oh damn, they're not even dead.
No, they're not even dead. It's the
damn. You imagine after they are, they're like gonna come looking for you.
Like I draw in people like that. I don't know. My whole life I've drawn in strange people, but strange is my jam, and so that kind of works for me. As long as they're not sitting there like peeling their skin and eating it. That's a little. That's where my line. See, there's the line. Haunted dolls doesn't affect me. Like they have haunted dolls. That's fine.
That's the one thing that I am still so afraid of, haunted dolls.
Oh, we have to break you of that because I even held a haunted doll.
But I know you're afraid of clowns.
I don't care for them.
I know you don't like clowns, but
we don't have to talk about that, Issa.
I'm okay with clowns, though.
Look at me. Look, we'll talk about clowns.
I'm okay with clowns, but I'm not okay with dolls. But you're okay with dolls and not clowns.
Not clowns, no. Because I don't understand the concept of putting on the big red nose and then some movie came out with this guy with killer teeth, and then I can't even watch it.
So you won't go to the clown motel with me?
Ah!
That's on my bucket list. The clown hotel.
If we get enough comments and people saying I'm
gonna make a bunch of accounts, and then I'm gonna
no, don't you dare.
Clown motel, please. Next.
I'll know it's you. Issa 1, Issa 2, Issa 3.
I literally told so many people, let's take a road trip down to the clown hotel. It's right next to a cemetery.
Oh,
Yeah, it's perfect.
so
It's
see,
perfect.
now I'm picturing Poltergeist with that damn clown. And then Scary Movie was worse because it came out from under the bed. Sorry, spoiler alert for anyone who hasn't seen the Scary Movie
I
where
have
it
not
comes
seen
out.
this so many years. I don't remember actually.
I love that whole series. Now, that's Scary Movies I can watch. When
Me
you put
too.
humor, especially when she
Yeah.
goes, Cindy, the TV's leaking. Because that's the only way I can watch The Grudge. This is how I watched The Grudge in the theater.
I did not want to see that. I was scared.
I screamed because I feel like that stuff's real.
It took me forever to even see The Conjuring, and I only saw The
still haven't seen The
Conjuring
Conjuring.
because Annabelle was coming out, and my friends wanted to go see Annabelle, and I'm like, I can't see.
Wait, which one is
Annabelle.
The Conjuring? To make sure.
the from The Conjuring?
As the
house?
Warrens?
Yes. Mhm.
Okay, so I actually SPI got me to watch that because it was on at their house and I couldn't look away. So then I was like, oh, that's not that bad. It wasn't that bad.
It wasn't that bad,
But
it took
interesting.
me so long to watch it because I was so scared, and I didn't even know that it was actually not that bad.
Right.
But it's because I wanted to watch Annabelle, and I know that Annabelle came from there, the movie Annabelle.
So Annabelle's going to be in San Antonio.
I did hear about that.
And I'm going to go see her.
I know, and I'm so jealous because I'm not going to be able to go.
She's on my list. Annabelle has been high on my list because I have a theory that what if it's not the real Annabelle doll? And then what if it is? I love those that, what is it? Is it Schrodinger's cat that says the cat is either alive, dead, or both?
I don't know.
But there's still, all you know is there's a cat in the box. So all I know is that Annabelle is there. And I want to get a read on it because I know that if I get near this, and this is the closest I'm going to get to it because she doesn't always come out. Mm-hmm. So I'm going to get a read on, is this doll real? Do things happen to people after they see her? Like, what have you heard about Annabelle? Not the movie Annabelle, but like the Annabelle.
For sure. Yeah. You can't mess with that.
Can't look at her?
You can't look at her. You can't say anything bad.
You can't look at her. How much? Wait.
You want to go look at her?
I'm going to look at her.
Good.
I'm going to go look at her.
Tell me what you see.
Oh my God. Watch suddenly my car crashes and flips over.
No, you haven't heard the documentaries where like a person is like, nothing's going to happen. And then they get on a car crash on the way home.
So you believe it's real,
I
right?
believe that it's real. And I know a lot of people don't.
Mine is I'm open. Okay. And I want to experience it for myself because I always had a theory that the real Annabelle doll was put away somewhere.
Okay, that could actually happen too.
Because the Warrens didn't want to put anyone in danger.
I think the same thing. They don't want to put people, and now this thing's making a tour. I feel like that's not really something that they wanted to do.
But what if it is? And then I go and see this. That's why I'm kind of, I always keep a healthy skepticism. Because I don't want to just everything that's told to me believe it. Well, but I'm morbid curiosity like you. I have to go see.
Yeah, because I mean, honestly, like, it's like we don't want to get duped into seeing like a fake doll.
Right.
So but then at the same time, I'm like, do I want to be around this doll? Because you know me, but my fear is dolls, haunted dolls.
Right.
So this is why I believe in this.
Right.
Truly. And even when I went to Zach's museum in Vegas, which we still need to go to.
Yes.
I've been to twice, and I chose not to go into the rooms of the haunted dolls. Like, oh my God, I've already forgotten.
How do you opt out of that room? Like you just sidestep it, or
no? The guide tells you, okay, this room now is this doll, this famous doll, haunted doll. I forget the name, but let's just not say that.
And then you're like,
no. She's like, you can opt to not go into, or you can't. And I'm like, I can't.
I'm going.
No, I'm going
to go right in there.
I opted out
because and let me tell you why though. I'm terrified of dolls.
The Dubox.
Oh, sorry, the Dybbuk box.
Dybbuk box.
Oh my God.
I opted to get that. I did not go in there. Twice I did not go in there.
I'm going straight in there.
But guess what?
That's going to be the first room I go in.
Somebody that was in our group, I'm not going to mention any names, but somebody was in our group and they just were like totally skeptic, but they were not believing it at all. I'm like, I'm going to go in there and say this and this and this.
No, don't antagonize. No.
Well, guess what happened?
Something bad?
Something happened. But,
now you have to tell me what happened. You can't just say something happened and not tell me. We will drop no names. Something happened to somebody because they didn't trust the Dybbuk box.
Yes. So the tour guide tells everybody, this is serious. You go in here, please don't disrespect anything in here because you don't want anything following you back home, or we don't want to be responsible. You sign a waiver when you go in there anyway. she said the ghost tour said how guide said how a lot of people experience a lot of things after going into the Dybbuk box. Dybbuk, can you correct me again?
Dybbuk box.
Dybbuk box.
Dybbuk.
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 Dybbuk. The
Dybbuk. Dybbuk. Okay.
The D box.
The D box? No, that doesn't sound right.
And we're back to paranormal romance again. The D box.
Okay, the Dybbuk.
The Dybbuk in a box. It's the Dybbuk in a box.
I feel like we just went to like a like after hour show.
We're back on track. So the Dybbuk box, they tell you we're back on track. Dybbuk box, it's bad. Go.
Yeah. Okay, so the guide told everyone like, if you choose to go into the room, please be respectful.
Right.
We don't want anything to happen to anybody. Blah blah blah. And then she told us how like a lot of people afterwards will experience illnesses or like something bad will happen to them on the way home, or a lot of nosebleeds.
Interesting.
And I'm like, okay,
like that girl on the who is it? 7 that her nose bleeds. Did you watch that show?
7
from Stranger Things. So maybe it's a paranormal.
Oh, 7.
Thing.
Okay, I was like, 7. Oh, I know who that. Oh, yes, exactly right. So anyway, the person that was in our group on the way home, he got a nosebleed. Ooh. And I was like warning him. I was warning him. I was like,
but they didn't believe.
No.
Did they believe after that? Maybe.
Hope so.
Oh my God.
I don't know, but I didn't even want to go in that room. I didn't go in that room. I didn't.
I'm going to go. I'm going right to that room.
I need you to go with me so I could be like, send you off.
Right. And you're like, push me in, shut the door. Just like scary movies. She goes, oh, so Sydney, why can't she just die?
There's a haunted doll, but I can't remember the name. Peggy.
So there's another haunted doll?
No, it's Peggy. But then there's a Dybbuk box.
So there's a Dybbuk box and there's Peggy and Annabelle. All these.
So was it Peggy? I don't know, but there's a haunted doll room that I do not want to go into, and I choose not to go to. And then the Dybbuk box, I don't go into that one either. And then there's the basement, but the only people that go into the basement are people that have that got the VIP package, which of course I did. But I didn't really want to go in the basement because there was what is that called? The round.
Oh, girl, don't pay for VIP and don't go. It's like
I didn't.
The whole point.
I don't know. I just had to get VIP.
What if you had the VIP and you walked down there and it was all dolls?
No, I did go down there.
Was it all dolls?
No. They already had a doll room that I did actually go into.
They're like, surprise.
No, it's where people would go in there and do seances and sacrifices and stuff with the circle. What is that called?
In the basement?
Yeah, you know what I'm talking about. The circle,
demonic circle thing.
No, what is it called? The
pentagram.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. And that's downstairs.
And you could still see the pattern of it down there.
I'm like, how do I know?
And no, you wouldn't go in there?
I don't know.
Well, I went, but you know how I went in there? I went like this, and I was holding on to my friend, and I was like, I'm not usually scared, but I don't want to mess with that.
Right.
So I just like went around in that basement as fast as I could, and then I was out of there. But I was like, damn, I paid my IP, and I'm over here running away from stuff.
Right.
But it was very exciting to go for the second time because the first time I went, I'm just advertising for it now. The first time I went, it was just
like not paid by Zach
not
Bagans.
paid
We'll
by Zach.
We'll hold up the sign.
They had just opened it, so they didn't have all the artifacts and stuff that they have now. So I just went in March. Oh, actually, now. Oh my God, it's been a year. I gotta go back.
Wow.
So I went for my birthday last year, and the first time I went again for my birthday, but it had already been 3 years or 4 years since the first time. So they had so much more.
Oh there. Wow! He collects a lot of stuff.
Every week he's on TMZ like Zach Bagans just bought this other thing.
Another thing. Great. Oh my God! He'll have to expand the museum.
You know what's weird is that you get there and it's like it's a house, and you go in, it's a house.
I thought it was a museum, so it's a house.
No. It's a house turned into a museum.
Oh.
He bought it because there was a lot of bad history there.
Is the house haunted? Mm-hmm. So he just bought a haunted house.
He bought a haunted house.
And then put a bunch of stuff in it.
Even more haunted. But the thing is, like, it looks so small, but when you go in, it seems so large in there. Like, I'm like, how are we looking at all this stuff? But on the outside, it looks like it's a small ass house. It's so weird. I think they take you through different rooms up and down.
And then the basement's got the pentagram. Like, that's why it's haunted. If that pentagram
that is why it's haunted. See? Because, well, actually, no, they said it was haunted before that. And then people started going in there and doing rituals and stuff.
Why do people always stir stuff up? Same as Yorktown. People
Yorktown had the same thing. Yorktown had the same thing.
Why would you stir? Like, I think.
And that's how it becomes a portal.
Right. And that's the difference between us on our show is we don't go to antagonize, stir up, do any of that stuff. No. We go to research, to learn, to experience, and to share it with everyone. Yes. Like, I do not want to stir
maybe help someone there.
Some locations won't let you help. They say you can't help them cross or do anything because the ghosts are there, as so part mean. Of the deal. I know.
So mean. What if you're in a corner like, I'm going to help you?
It's part of the deal sometimes. So I get it, because then if all their ghosts are gone, then they don't have the money to preserve the place, because you have to keep this place.
Okay, let's not say that, because then somebody might be watching this and be like, we're not letting them investigate.
Right, they're
run off all the ghosts.
No, I get it, because they want to be able to preserve the place, and if you don't have people coming in to see ghosts, then that place is not going to be around much longer. Yes. Like, unfortunately, that's what we need to keep these places preserved, is having a lot of ghost tours and people who can take that money or the donations and keep these haunted places preserved. Because, you got to pay the taxes, keep the lights on. It's like the ghosts don't care about that. They're going to be there regardless, but if we start helping all of them at some of these locations to cross over, then
you're right.
Then they'll be gone. So I see both sides, because I want to help. I want to help spirits too. But I get that if we do that, then that can cause.
Okay, we can at least show the spirits that we have intent, but we can't.
Like, we're here to hang out. We're cool, and then we're gonna leave you back to your status quo.
Sorry.
Right. So other locations we can, like if people call us, like one thing is people have called us with Ghost Hunting Beauties to go to haunted locations to do that. And I have to tell them that we're an entertainment show. Okay. Is that we go to investigate and do things, but it's solely for, for me, research. I love research.
Yeah, me
and
too.
To educate and then to entertain.
Right.
So if someone has a serious problem, to call a team to really come help them, like SPI. And that's why we have to always line out the differences, because people will call us, and same as them, they'll call them and go, can I be on your show? They're like, what are you talking about?
And then they refer them to us.
Right, there we go. It's like,
we got to refer them back.
Because they're like, hey, it's like, film at my house. And then, we've even had people call us fake in the beginning because I wouldn't come to their house. And it's like, I don't know you. I'm not just coming to your house. Like,
they wanted you to go to investigate or to help get rid of whatever they have.
Just go to their house. They're like, my house is haunted. You should come by. And I said, well, that's not what we do. Everything is very carefully planned. And this is, so you're fake. I went, because I won't come to I don't know you. Like, this is a process. Like, it's trust both ways. Trust between us and the spirits and us and the living. And to be honest, I trust the spirits before I trust the living.
Same thing. I'm way so scared of more, if I hear a sound, I'm like, if it's a ghost, it's cool. If it's a person, forget it.
Yeah, exactly.
I'd rather it be, I was like, where was I before that? I was like, I hope it's a ghost and not an intruder.
Right. I say, I hope it's a ghost and not something broken in my house that I have to fix. I was like, that better have been a ghost and not the pipe bursting. So
we're like, somebody's not supposed to be in your house,
Right. Or it's a burglar. It's like, oh, crap. So here we go. It's like, why can't it just be a spirit knocking things over?
I had somebody contact me saying, talking about how they have been dealing with ghosts all their life, and it's gotten really bad and stuff. But I'm like, I don't know. But I referred her over to the SPIs.
Good. See, that's what you do.
I can't help, but I know somebody that can if you get a hold of them.
I get people that send me pictures, videos, and different things. And since I am gifted, I can look through stuff, and I can usually tell them, at least my opinion. Because it's the same as you go to a doctor. Right. A doctor has a doctorate, years of research, and they've got years of experience, that even a doctor is still giving a medical opinion. They're giving you with all their experience. So with me, I feel like a lot of times that I've got years of experience of having paranormal experiences and being a medium, being a psychic. But that doesn't mean that I'm a full-on paranormal investigator, that I've had years of experience, that I know how to get a detachment off something. I know how to find this or that. So there's a difference, because so many people go out there and they're just getting their feet wet. And I was like, you need years of experience to do that. Hence why I think we're in year 2, but I think technically it's been 3 years now.
Really?
With getting everything together because it takes.
It does, right?
I've
seen like how much work it went to one episode. And that's just one.
Yeah. We were lucky we had some help. We had people coming in because it's. Yeah. Because then there's the budget.
And there's so much that needs to be, we needed like more people to help. Not people, but we needed more, just more bodies there to like help just.
Right. Definitely. It takes, I think on a normal and paranormal investigation show, it takes like 50 people
50
minimum?
people?
Minimum.
Holy crap.
That's what I've heard. I could be incorrect, but for some, it takes about that. Like some people are bootstrapping it like us, but it takes a lot. And the more you have, the better it goes.
Yeah, it also depends on the location, how big it is, and how many people you have. The cast are part of that location. But this one, we had so many of us, and it was a huge location. So yeah. Right.
So now that you have Yorktown out of the way, what are you most looking forward to on season 2?
On season 2, I'm just looking forward to every single next episode there is. I can't wait.
So all of it?
All of it. I can't wait to get to I love investigating, so I definitely want to do a little bit more in each episode. I can't wait to do a little bit more in each.
Yeah. Learning more, experiencing
more. I literally have so many ghost hunting tools that I still want to use.
You're collecting them now.
I'm the collector.
You're getting more ghost hunting tools than me.
I am the collector of ghost hunting tools.
Yes. It's never enough.
There's a meme for that.
Right.
There's never enough. There's never enough of them. And I'm actually don't know how I'm going to, I need a whole extra luggage.
Right.
You'll
need the Ghost Hunting Beauties bag, and then here's
that's too much. I'm flying in. I'm just thinking about right now.
Right.
Oh my god, I have to have a whole other luggage for them.
Right.
They're gonna be like, "What is this?"
Imagine explaining that at TSA.
How am I gonna explain my music box?
Yeah.
What is this?
So what do people say now whenever you tell them that this is what I do?
Well, most of them already know that they know, but the ones that came in, sorry, the ones. Sorry, guys. The friends that I made in the last 2 years that when I after my hiatus or my break of paranormal, they didn't know anything about that. So they're just like, wait, you're into ghost hunting?
Right.
Because I put it to the side and I started doing my cosplay more. So they just knew me as cosplaying is something that I loved. And they're like, where did this come from? I'm like, no, I have been doing this for years. And they didn't know because most have my new social media, which had nothing on there about the paranormal, because I did it after I stopped with the paranormal. So but everybody mostly knows about it, and my mom was so happy when I told her. She's like, oh my god, this is your dream. I'm so happy for you.
You got good support. I love that.
She's so happy for me.
Well, we're happy for you. We're happy that we found you. You found us.
I know. It was such a crazy coincidence. Right.
I never believe in coincidence. It was meant to be.
It was meant to be. Somehow y'all found me, and I was looking for a group just to ghost hunt with and just be a part of, and I got something even better than that.
Yeah. Oh, well, I am so grateful, and I'm glad you're on board. We've got so much coming up for season 2. We've got podcast guests coming up, and we've got so much in store. It's hard to give away anything because then you just. Yeah, I just don't want to spoil anything. But like I said, so spoiler, staying in the haunted funeral home. Mm-hmm. I am so looking forward to it. It's a beautiful location. I hope you're ready.
I am so excited.
We even have matching pajamas.
We have matching pajamas. We're going to have a slumber party with all the ghosts.
So we're going to have the ghost slumber party.
This is how we're going to get in good with them because they're all invited.
Right.
And
right.
So for the investigation the next night, they're going to be like, oh yeah, they're the girls from the
we know
slumber party. They threw the slumber party last night.
Right.
Yeah, let's go hang out with them again.
Exactly. Well, I am so excited, and thank you so much for taking time to come in here today. I wanted everybody to get to know you and go who is this girl? I had to introduce you, and
thanks for having me.
I'm so excited.
I'm so excited for what's to come.
Yes, me too. So until next time, thank Thank you, everybody. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe, comment. Tell us what else you want to see. If you have any additional questions, we'll bring her back and ask them. So we're here. Thank you for watching Ghost Hunting Beauties. Until next time.
Cheers.
Here we go. Cheers.